This is episode 451 of Bella in Your Business. Welcome back to another episode of Bella in Your Business. My name is Bella Vasta, and welcome to episode 451. So I took last week off, as some of you may or may not know. And one of the things that I've decided, if you saw the email that goes out on Friday, is that I'm going to start going to every other week. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be a podcast or I'm not going to be still feeding you guys. What that means is in the off weeks, since we have 451 podcast episodes, what I'm going to start doing is serving you up series. So let's say you're starting with employees and I'm going to say, hey, if you're starting with employees and you want to learn about employees, listen to these 3 episodes. Or, hey, you want to learn some content marketing hacks? I have 3 episodes on it here. And so that's kind of how we're going to do this on the off weeks. And it'll also give you guys a little bit of a chance to catch up, because I know some of you are in the middle of a major binge. Something else I want to talk to you about before we actually get into the topic today, which is about blogging with a strategy, which I do not see a lot of people doing. I want to share with you a clip, and let me set this up for you. I alluded to it on the last episode. This is a coaching session with Becky from Pause Around Motown. She wanted to take her entire phone script and she wanted to build it out with like, why are we saying this? What is the impact psychologically? Like all of it. So it's not just a bullet point script that her office staff follow and they don't know why. So we really went into it and it ended up being more than 30 pages. And what I said to her was, I wonder if we can get AI to do this with us, to role play. Because guys, you want to role play or you say you're going to practice, but do we ever really practice? No. What are we going to do? Hand the script to someone and then kind of feel awkward and be like, hi, ring, ring, thanks for calling. Well, guess what? Now that we have created all of that foundation for her, we can now give it to AI and tell AI to role play with us. And not only can they role play with us, but they can also follow the script and understand what their role is. And we pretend that we're, literally answering the phone and talking to them. Not only does the AI sound completely realistic, but it also can critique you at the end and tell you like how you did based off of the script that you give it. How amazing is that? So wait. Listen right now. I'm going to play it.
Ring, ring. Hi, this is Becky. I'm looking into getting some dog walking services because I'm starting a new job soon and I'd love to know what you offer.
Becky, that's amazing. Congratulations on your new job. Were you working from home before you got that new job?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was actually working from home for the past couple of years. So my dog is really used to having me around all day. I just want to make sure he's comfortable and happy while I'm away at work.
Awesome. Okay, so there's tons of choices out there for you. So what do you think is like the most important thing that you're looking for when trying to find someone to come visit him? What's his name?
His name is Max, and he's a super friendly golden retriever. The most important thing for me is reliability. I want to know that whoever's coming over will be consistent and really care about him.
All right. And so what do you guys think? Isn't that absolutely amazing? I mean, it's truly remarkable what we can do with AI. And it's so much fun in these consultations the intensives that I do with my clients, because we're not just talking about things. They're like leaving with tangible, concrete tools that they can use in their business. And what else is better than that? All right. If you're interested in working on that, or maybe there's a problem you've been solving in your business and you're not quite sure, I'm not literally just saying this, but like for some reason, maybe it's because it's like the end of the year or school's back in session, my intensives and my schedule are blowing up. So if you want to get on that by the end of the year, I would suggest that you get into it now and on the flow before I run out of time on my calendar. If you want to learn more about that, let's jump on a call. We could talk about your specific needs and how I can help you with the solutions so you can get a good vision of what that looks like. Just go to jumpconsulting.net/20 and you can get on my calendar so that we could have a conversation. And I'll tell you straight up what you need or if you're ready for it, because there are different stages of things. And I think it comes a lot down to mindset. But we could talk about that later. Okay, let's get into the show today. So guys, I have literally been like racking my brain. It drives me crazy, right? Because a lot of business owners don't understand is that people read one blog post, they get what they need, and they leave. Unless you give them a compelling reason to stay and explore more, okay? It's not just that compelling that it's your website, because nobody cares about your baby like you do. Most of you are treating blogging like throwing spaghetti up against the wall to see what sticks. You're writing 10 tips for happy dogs one week and why your cat needs exercise the next, with zero connection between them. And you're wondering why your blog isn't driving clients or building your authority. But today, I'm going to break down why blogging isn't about more content, it's about smart strategy. So I'm talking about turning each blog post into a hub that pulls the reader deeper into your expertise and actually converts them into paying clients. If you've been blogging for months or years without seeing results, or maybe not at all, this episode is going to be for you, no matter the game you are in right now. So let's start with the biggest lie in content marketing. Just keep writing more blogs and the traffic will come. Well, yeah, it could come, but is it going to help you? For example, my most popular blog on my old company, it's almost 10 years ago now, Bella's House and Pet Sitting, was, is it safe for my dog to eat tuna? I'm going to use this as an example because while it reached #1 worldwide, it did a 0 for me because unless you live within a 10-mile radius of me and you want dog walking and that's what brought you in, the fat chance that that's going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? So it was just like writing more blogs is wrong. It's like dead wrong. And so I see pet business owners publishing lots of blogs and then patting themselves on the back for being consistent, which is great, but there's no strategy behind it. Their website's traffic stays flat, or they have the blogs, but they're not promoting them, okay? And there's a lot to do with promotion. More blogs do not equal more traffic, especially the niche of the niche kind of traffic you're looking for. You're not just looking for pet owners, you're looking for pet owners in your area who need a dog walker or a pet sitter, who are going away or who are out of their home a lot. And so search engines don't care that you just published 47 blog posts from last month. But you know what they do care about? Relevance, clarity, authority. And don't even get me started on AI with this. Let me paint you a picture. You write a blog called 5 Signs Your Dog Has Separation Anxiety. It's a great topic, right? But then what happens? Someone reads it, thinks that was helpful, and they leave your website. Why? Because you didn't give them anywhere else to go. And it wasn't pointed directly in your local area. So something that you could change that really easily would be like to how to know if your Scottsdale dog has anxiety and what to do. And then that's a really great spot where you could say, use Bach Flower Remedy and you can get it at XYZ Pet Store. Or the pet store owner says da-da-da-da-da about that. Or maybe it's a blog about anxiety about your dog going to the groomer, and then you can quote groomers in your area. This is helpful stuff, but it's local. But your blogs aren't libraries. Nobody, and I mean nobody, goes to your website thinking, gee, I wonder what other brilliant content this pet sitter has. Let me go search their blog. That doesn't happen. They won't do that. People don't have time to consume it. They see it either in an email or on social. Something catches their eye and it brings them in. So now we're going to move on to the second one, which is interlinking. Let's talk about the strategy that's going to come from your blogging results, which is smart interlinking. So every single blog should be linked to another blog of yours and obviously have some outside sources too, but interlinking about things is going to be really great. And in order to do that, you need to know what blogs you've already published. And this is where most pet business owners are missing massive opportunities. So remember the separation anxiety blog I just mentioned? Instead of letting readers bounce off of that once they're finished, you could strategically link them to your related content. Maybe like the best 5 pet stores in Scottsdale, because you can get thunder jackets and you can get all these stuff. If your dog is showing signs of separation anxiety, you might also want to read calming enrichment ideas for anxious dogs. Boom, there's a link to another blog. Like there's so many different ways you could do this. Many pet parents find that hiring a professional dog walker can help reduce separation anxiety. And here's a link to how to choose the right dog walker for your anxious pup. Boom, another link, right? There's so many different ways that we could do this, but that's also how you build authority, by interlinking. So I want to ask you, when is the last time you published a blog that you had interlinking in? Now, the next thing is why your blogs need to look good and not just read good. So let's talk about the visual strategy. And I hate to break this to you, but people also don't read. They don't, they scan. So the more subheadings and like bullets and things like that you can have, the better. People are not reading every single word. It's online, it's on their device. And it's also where graphics and calls to action become game changers. If I go to your website and it's just a wall of words and there's nothing breaking it up, there's no pictures, there's nothing to draw my eye to, probably not going to consume much of it. And so consider having like call out boxes in the middle of the blog saying like, struggling with this, check out our guide for this. I have one about like guerrilla marketing. I was talking about ways to do cheap marketing in your area. And halfway through it, there was a 20-page guide to guerrilla marketing that pet sitters have actually used. And then you sign up for it and you get it. I'm a little different. You guys are doing a service. I am selling education essentially, but it's the same premise. And every single blog post should have a clear path to the next step in your customer journey, whether it's reading another blog or signing up for your newsletter or downloading a free guide or booking a consultation. You don't want to just put the blog out there and then that's it. Now, let's talk about another one, and it's writing them and then hoping that people will magically find them. If you write a blog, this is really important, and you don't actively promote it, you might as well have not written it at all. Your blog is sitting on a website is like having the world's best conversation in your basement with the doors closed and no one can hear you. You don't want that. So if we're repurposing a blog across every content platform, let's talk about the anxiety one again, right? So maybe we have a Facebook post with 3 tips, and this just goes on your Facebook page. It goes on your business Facebook page. It could go on local Facebook groups or next door groups. You could have an Instagram carousel breaking down the signs because honestly, you should never be posting just one picture on Instagram. You could do a short video for TikTok or Reels or YouTube Shorts, and you could post the same reel on each one of them. And that could literally be as simple, and I've just did episodes about this 2 times ago. You could just have B-roll, and then you could just put the words on it and then add some music. It does not have to be time-consuming or backbreaking. You could do a LinkedIn post positioning for the pet industry professionals. You could do the content in your next email that goes out, and you could just repurpose it as that. So one blog becomes 5 or 6 pieces of social content. This is exactly what I do in Marketing with Bella. People either give me, I want these assets, or they say, hey, these are the 2 topics that I want you to dive into. I've had algae in lakes, okay? I've had hurricane season. I started a new nonprofit. We added poop scooping. And so I take these topics, I make them hyper local with a really big long form blog that I can create so many pieces of content from and translate it all around. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just telling you to do this. I literally do this for my people. And guys, I still want to remind you, I have 1 spot left in Marketing with Bella. If you want to join, just go ahead and shoot me an email and get you the details. It's bella@jumpconsulting.net. Never have to worry about making things look or sound or be cohesive. Never have to worry about I'm just posting random graphics and random questions that don't really interlink anywhere. This is a strategy, a whole ecosystem. So if you're not promoting your blog, then you're doing it wrong. And I have posted many times the graphs when you have a blog and you don't promote it, it's just deadline. You have a blog and you start promoting it and you use my strategy, your website hits go way up, way up. And all you have to do is keep doing that every week on a different blog. Be valuable to people. Be social. Add value to the conversation. Start the conversations. Let's move on. So building authority that actually matters, the real reason that you should be blogging. And it's up to you to decide that frequency. It could be once a month. It could be 4 times a month. It's completely up to you. I'm not saying that I'm giving you something else to do, but gosh darn it, if you are not posting blogs and promoting them, but you are paying for Google ads, I really want you to call me for a 20-minute consultation because you're wasting your money. There's so much more that you could be doing right now before you go pay for something. You just need to know about it. And so when a potential client is deciding between you and 3 other pet sitters, what's going to make them choose you? Oh, because you're the best. I know. No. But listen, is it your logo, your prices, your cute Instagram feed? Maybe. But you know what really, really builds trust? It's seeing you consistently share valuable, expert level advice at the exact problems that these business owners are facing, which means understanding their avatar. When they Google how to help my dog with thunderstorm anxiety and your blog comes up and it's local and it's comprehensive and it's a local guide, you just became the expert in their mind. That is huge. When they see you posting helpful tips in Facebook groups week after week after week, you're going to become the person that they think of as the local expert. Consistency over volume. I can't stress this enough. If I could get up on a soapbox right now and stand up on one, I would. So picture me up on this soapbox. Now, this is the last thing I'm going to say. You have to have strategy first and then content second. So let's bring this home with a mindset shift, because you know I love doing these mindset shifts. And strategy first, content second. Here's what I mean. Most pet business owners do it backwards. They sit down and think, what should I blog about this week? And then they write whatever comes to mind. It's not a strategy. It's just content creation. While there's nothing wrong with that, I want to make you guys lethal. Strategic blog starts with understanding your customer's journey. What problems do people have before they realize they need your services? What questions do they ask when they're looking for someone like you? What concerns do they have after they've hired you? I mean, Joey Coleman talks about this whole entire thing in the customer experience. Your blog content should map to every stage of that journey. Top of the funnel is very educational content that helps them solve problems. Middle of the funnel is like content that shows your expertise and builds trust. Bottom of the funnel addresses objections and showcases results. So here's your homework. I want you to go audit the last 5 blogs that you did, or if you haven't started blogging yet, I want you to consider the first 5 blogs that you're going to do. And how can you apply these things that I've just given you? Another secret tip that I'll tell you, definitely go Google or go to AI and ask them to teach you what Marcus Sheridan's The Big 5 is. That will change your life. It's changed my life numerous times. I've done book clubs on his book. It is amazing, and it will drive home all of these points that I just said. So if you've been cranking out blog after blog after blog, hoping for magic to happen, I need you to stop, hold up, wait a minute. Let's get some strategy in it. I want your blogs to work together. They should look good, they should read well, and they should be something meaningful. So your action step is to pick your best blog from the last 3 months or whenever it's been that you've been blogging. And then I want you to add 3 strategic links, and I want you to promote it. And then I want you to check your Google Analytics and shoot me an email when they shoot up, preferably with a screenshot. I'm telling you guys, literally, I will bet you money that this works, because I know it works because I do it for my clients and I do it for myself. All right. Well, this has been another episode of Bella in Your Business. Also, shoot me back and tell me what you want to hear about, because I'd love to give you a shout out and say, Molly was asking about how to do marketing on a shoestring budget. So here are 3 episodes for you. Next week will be the off week, but I take requests on what you want me to feed you. You guys, thank you so much for being a great listener of the show. I encourage you to please subscribe. What'll happen is when you're brain dead on whatever device you listen to, every time there's a new episode, it will just pop up. And it will remind you, hey, there was a new episode posted of Bella in Your Business. So please, please, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Please, we need more comments. Like wherever you listen, please do comments. I would love to see that. And of course, sharing is caring. So if you found this episode useful, please feel free to share it in any groups or on your feed or wherever you like to share things. In the meantime, when life gets you down, always keep jumping. Bye now.